If you are a content creator and you're wanting to get your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your significant other into content creation, this is about to be a masterclass for you. Today we have Haley and Ray Cordova. You guys, welcome onto the pod. Super appreciate you guys hopping on. Yeah, I'm gonna dive right into it. So I want you guys to just introduce yourselves, and then I'm gonna start asking you a ton of questions about UGC, how you do it as a married couple, how you got into this, what you've learned, things you want people to avoid when they get started, things you wish you would have avoided when you got started. We're going to dive all into that. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. I'm Haley Cordova, 44-year-old, live in Salt Lake, Utah, originally from Southern California. Salt Lake, Utah. Geez. Southern Utah, St. George. We did have a house in Salt Lake for a few years.
A lot warmer down there.
We know that area. Yeah, totally. You're from Salt Lake. So anyways, yeah. And just, excited to be here. We'll talk about how we got into this, but that's who I am. Currently, I'm a realtor as well by morning, noon, and night, and now a UGC content creator by morning, noon, and night. So
I'm Ray Cordova and her husband, and 55-year-old. And as I start everything from sunny St. George, Utah, and we're lucky here to have that son. But I would just describe myself who is somebody who thankfully has escaped the corporate world after 30 plus years, and it feels so good.
I love it. Yeah, it's escaping the corporate world is pretty awesome. So I'm stoked for you. We're not going to get into Crumble and all that, kind of where you came from. I know that's a big debate, especially at BYU right now and all that.
We've seen the posts.
Yeah, the Crumble, the boosters and all that. So I want to kind of get into, you guys have been doing UGC for not very long, considering, right? I mean, most people, like even me, I'm 2 years is like still baby for UGC, but you've seen some amazing success within the first, what are we at, 3 months now?
A little over 3 months.
Yeah, a little over 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, September 1st, we officially kind of set sail with our UGC ship, and 3.5 months.
Dude, that is so wild.
I don't think we fully finished your course until like the end of September.
I know, it's all right. There's a lot of people that haven't
hit the ground
fully
running.
finished.
Yeah.
It's like dog years, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, it's crazy too, that because I always, every time I bring it up, I'm like, I feel like it's been longer just because I feel like you've done so many projects and it's so quickly. So let's take you back to the beginning. Like, how did you find UGC through me? Was it through my course? Was it through someone else? Was it through an affiliate or something? Or how did you guys find UGC?
It's funny. Our path it started in not an odd way, but I'll let Haley describe our path and literally how it led us to you.
That's wild.
So poor Ray, I've always been a big dreamer. I always have an idea of what I want to do next. Something, for us being 11 years in an age gap difference, it's always been really important for us to try to find something that we could do to not miss out on years together. Potentially if he was going to retire and I was still going to have to work some kind of grind, we were like, that's just isn't going to work for us. That's all we have is time. Like you can't get time back. So I've always been looking for an angle for us to be able to work together. We're super creative. We both have kind of marketing backgrounds and, but corporate, there's a nice comfy blanket that comes with corporate that's hard to leave. I got into real estate years ago, have loved it. It's been great for us. And so I wanted to transition Ray into real estate as my partner as well. Unfortunately, this isn't the market to do that in. So we gave it a little bit of time. And then he was coming close to looking for another 9 to 5, so to speak. And we've always kind of talked about, hey, let's do something with Crumbs. We have a dog named Crumbs. She's a Weimaraner, because neither one of us really wanted to be on social media, but we can see the benefit of it. And we can see a lot of people doing it with dogs. That's some of the favorite things that we like to watch is animal UGC. It's just funny. We'd send each other posts all the time about people doing that. So I said, let's have some fun with Crumbs because we're creative. We can use this as a creative outlet. So we started social media channels for her, and Ray kind of did the Instagram one because that's what he was familiar with. We had never been on TikTok before like July of this year. We actually made fun of our children for being on TikTok. We called it Tic Tac or yeah. And so I'm like, I'm going to dive into TikTok. And I was like, dude, I love this platform. This is so much funner than Instagram in certain ways, like just the interactions. It was new, it was fun. So I was posting on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and Ray was doing Instagram. And Megan actually was the first person that I saw on TikTok that came up for UGC. And it was Pet UGC that she was kind of talking about in that certain, TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, UGC? And so I started just going down the rabbit hole of what UGC was. And obviously the algorithm picked that up and came across Jake on a live. And then it was after that, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. He talks so passionately about it. Obviously, he's a huge part of your course. And so that led us to you. And I kind of got my ducks in a row before I approached Ray with yet another Haley idea and said, dude, you have to watch this. You have to learn this with me. And it wasn't, he glommed onto it pretty quickly.
Yeah. When she says she's a dreamer, she's the dreamer. And, although I love to dream, I have my feet planted securely in the ground for the most part, but, and she's got an idea a day. At least. And I always listen. And immediately when she started talking about this and what it entailed and the people she had come across and what they did, I'm like, me being the knucklehead I am when I had free time at work, that's what I did. We would go around the office and film people. And, again, my background is in PR and marketing. So we would do that impromptu stuff. Hey, give me a testimonial. Hey, this and that. And she said, you've been doing this for free for the past 3 decades.
With your coworkers.
Let's give it a shot. Let's see. And I was in real estate at the time too. And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And like she said, I was this close to, getting back into the corporate world, a different cookie, a different cake, a different, that's all it is. We know that, you know. And I said, let's give it a shot. And we looked into the fact that my age, my gender, there wasn't a lot of guys my age doing this.
Yeah.
And the more I saw and talked to people, I saw a lot of guys my age weren't really comfortable doing this. And so we gave it a shot. And here we are. It's been a wild, at times bumpy ride.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we get to hang out.
Yeah.
We get to work together. And for the most part, we're at a point now where we get to work with brands we want to work with. So not only do you get all the cool stuff, you could just speak authentically about it like you have your whole life, and they send you a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually
mind-blowing.
crazy. It's like, I tell people all the time that it sounds like a scam, like honestly. Like
does.
when you tell people about it, they're like, well, yeah, but then like you have to like recruit people behind you, or like they think it's an MLM, or like, well, yeah, that company, like, it's just always like, there's no way this can be real. And brands actually trust you because you have no background in, like, you had marketing, but like you've never done acting, right? And we're gonna get into some of that in here shortly. But like, it's just like crazy. Like you guys have been doing this, and I like how you said like it hasn't been smooth. Yeah, like you guys are only 3 months into this, right? And you've had this insane rocket launch growth in the last 3 months. And not only just like you, Ray, but like also Haley, like you guys have both been getting gigs, like maybe like certain Fivers, I know like I know platforms like Fiverr, SourceSpot right now for you, Haley, but like others, like the cool thing is you guys have done is you didn't just get on Fiverr and just like chill and like, well,
no,
Haley's Fiverr's not popping off, so this must not be for us. Like you got on all these other platforms and then started putting yourself out there. Yeah, you went all in. And I think that there's a big lesson to be told that, because that's one of my, it's frustrating when I hear from people that like, oh yeah, my Fiverr's not working. It's been 4 weeks. I'm like, okay, how many gigs do you have listed? What other platforms are you on? Right. And then it's usually people that are in my course and stuff that they're like, well, I haven't gotten any other platforms. I'm like, well, dude, take the whole course. Like I talk about other stuff. You need to put yourself out there on 100 different things, knowing that like 40 of them are going to hit. Right.
Totally.
And so what, like you guys obviously joined the course, you got onto Fiverr. What other things did you do early on? And then how did you, Ray, get comfortable on camera from being, because I know like I'm pretty sure Haley's video came first. Like Haley sent the video first. Like the Yeti video was done way before yours was. Right. Yeah. And so like, how did you get comfortable on camera? Like any tips or tricks when you very first started getting going on this?
Are you comfortable on camera?
Yeah. You know,
Fake it, dude. That's all I do.
Fake it till you make it.
you know,
yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with the negotiation part of this business.
Hey, real quick, if you're brand new to UGC and feel overwhelmed, I made a free guide for you. It's called 10 Steps to Becoming a UGC Creator from Scratch. And it literally takes you from, I have no idea what I'm doing, to landing your first paid gig. No fancy equipment needed, no massive following required. Just a clear roadmap. Links below. It's free, it's practical, and it'll help you start making money like now. All right, back to the show.
I wish they would just say, this is the bottom line we're paying, and that's that.
Yeah.
But being on camera, if I'm able to just pretend I'm talking to somebody, and I know we see that in the briefs all the time, but it's true. If I'm just here and talking to you about a product I like or don't like, or why I don't like it, or comparing things, that's easy. We do that in our everyday lives. Just pretend the camera's not there and you've got something golden. I mean, we were looking at some of our relatives' Instagrams. They're cooking. They're showing a new piece of jewelry. I keep hitting the mic. Sorry about that. She's going nuts, though.
I am going nuts.
You can see that.
I can't even hear it. You're fine.
And we said that we recently had them over. We shot for a company called Bordery. They do gigantic charcuterie boards.
Oh, cool.
So the next day, we're just bumping around, and we see our relatives just doing random stuff. I'm like, do you realize that's $400? That's $200 what you just did? And they were like, are you kidding? Lo and behold, within 48 hours, they're calling Haley going, can you tell me about this UGC thing? And we always say, do your homework first. Go, this is Nate. You don't have to look at him, but there are plenty of people out there. He's somebody that resonated with us. There are a lot of great coaches out there. Do your homework. If you're still interested, come on back and we'll help you.
Yeah. But I mean, for us, I think that the learning curve, although I didn't love being on camera before this, and I still don't love seeing myself or hearing myself, but knowing that there's a paycheck at the end of it definitely helps. Just keep telling yourself you're a paid actor.
Yeah.
For us, the learning curve, and we're still heavy in it, is that we both approach a project very differently.
Yeah.
So doing it together, there are tons of pluses. UGC can be a lonely gig. That. We've talked about that in the community. That's not anything new. So the fact that we get to do it together makes it less lonely, but it also can create some conflict from time to time. And, where I'm very meticulous and very detail oriented, and I want to lay out the brief and make sure that we're hitting all the metrics the first time around and probably overanalyze it to an extreme. Ray's like, let's just do it. And I'm
Let's get after it. Let's get after it. And if I miss some spots, or I miss some on the script, or I miss something, either we edit or we do it again. But I like to roll with it. If I'm feeling it, I like to just roll with it.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. There's so many different ways to approach a project. So, that's something I think one of the things, even just from having a spouse that's at home, for me is even today I was shooting a project for a HR company, HR platform, and a lot of over the shoulder screenshots of my computer screen over the shoulder, which those are hard to get in a space where not your whole, it's I've got workout equipment on the other side of this monitor, and Christmas stuff. And that's just it's just joke. And so I noticed today I had my wife was gone. So I had my tripod. And I'm like, oh, this is way freaking harder to do because I have to get up and check it 900 times. And then I'm like, oh, this isn't on. But then when I have her, I'm like, okay, get this shot. You're going to zoom in here. You're going to do this. And it's going to take us 30 seconds. Right. And instead, so it's probably also nice on both of your projects. A tripod's great. Right. And you can obviously do this alone. There's a bajillion people that do this alone.
Absolutely.
But having that extra set of hands, literally cuts down hours on editing and not on editing, on filming too. Just filming the right shots and not having to get the tripod perfect. It's hey, grab the phone. You're going to shoot over this shoulder. This is what the shot's going to look like. Okay, cool. All right. Looks good. Next,
Yeah. And having a kid in the house too, we'll grab our 14-year-old begrudgingly and she'll come down and we'll be like, you just need to get a shot real quick of the two of us. She tries to extort us. How much are you going to pay me? But we're like, no, you're lucky. You get to live here and eat.
Exactly. Exactly. This is your rent.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you're right. And, you absolutely could do this alone. There are times where both of us have to go at it because I'm still doing real estate, from time to time. And luckily I can kind of schedule myself around some of the projects that we have, but it's really nice because like you mentioned, we can do those things. Or because I've taken on the role, obviously Ray, he's the unicorn in the relationship, the 55-year-old male. It's a little bit more competitive even at my age range. I mean, I'm sure it's more open for me, being 40 plus. But females probably gravitate towards this, or just it's a little easier, the barrier of entry, to actually do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So for us, the role has been for him to, get the jobs, negotiate the jobs, kind of have that back and forth communication with the brands. And then I come in and I help with some of the admin. I help with a lot of the filming, and then I do the editing. And while I'm doing that, he's, preparing for the next brief. So there's a lot of time that doesn't get wasted because the two of us kind of know our roles and are able to fill in where we need to.
I'm only cheesing over here, but because when we first started, I was like, yes, 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 yes. And then one day she sits down and she's like, we have 18 jobs this week. Do you realize that? And I didn't. I was just
saying yes to everything.
And I said yes to everything.
Which you should as a newbie, right? But at the same time, you're like, maybe we spread it out, or maybe we put a floor on the budget, and you're like, I'll take that $70. That's $70 I didn't have yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you start to see the number increase for the job. The jobs, you're like, okay, do I need some creatine gummies right now? Let's get it. $300, $400, let's do it. But that was the experience, because the first 2 weeks, and I think you remember this, I'm like, hey, I got my first email. It was a spam email.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to get that. But, deep inside, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be getting more. And it was probably about 2.5 weeks. And then boom.
Yeah.
And it hasn't stopped since. I've been very, very fortunate. I've learned how to refrain a little from every single job and start to pick the ones that made a little more sense for our schedule and made sense for just the whole production of what we do.
When you first started, how have you improved as a creator, both of you, right? From even script reading. I know Haley, when you sent that first Yeti video, you're like, this took forever. You've made tons of videos since then. What did you do to improve? Just practice? Is there anything else you were like, okay, I wish I would have started this earlier. I wish I would have done this different approach earlier?
Yeah. I mean, I think I probably, definitely improved in editing. Ray's always my number one fan when it comes to editing. I'm like, you can't love everything I edit. You have to give me constructive feedback too.
That looks great.
He's like, no, seriously, I love it. And then I'll rewatch it. I'm like, that's horrible. So, already it's funny because I watch a lot of you creators who have been doing this for years. You guys sometimes will post some of the first, videos that you did. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that's where I feel like I'm at right now. But people are like, we love it. So really, it's neat because it makes you realize pretty quickly that the brand's hiring you and your voice and your look, and you can fumble your way through it in the beginning as long as you just do it, and they'll help you and they'll guide you if they want you to change something. So that's helped, is being able to receive the feedback from the brands, from the people in the community, because you have a great community where you can get feedback from everyone. So that's awesome. But I'd say my editing's definitely getting better each time. Understanding briefs, getting a little better as we go, and trying, to not miss anything so that we don't put ourselves in a position where we have to do a revision. Some of the areas that we know we need to get better in is posting on social media.
Yeah.
We're really bad about that. But every time we do, although you don't have to do that in UGC, we know that because the brands are the ones posting typically. But, for self-branding and to be able to get our faces and our names out there more, every time we post, we get some inbounds. And that's really where it's at. So that's we're learning that slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just keeping it. I'll shout them out right now. Creator Desk, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's our backbone.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, I don't know what we would do right now. So
they're going to be
they're
at UGC Creator Connect.
Oh, I can't wait.
They're great. Yeah. I know that they're still new and working out their kinks, but they work with creators like hand in hand. They're always available. They're amazing. It's keeping us organized. It allows us to see real time, what income we've made, what we have coming, projects, deadlines. It's been a great CRM tool for us.
Yeah, organization is like one thing they don't talk about a lot when you first start, right? Especially if for me, I was just on Fiverr and I didn't want to post outside of, or I didn't want to have social media, UGC social media handles, because I honestly didn't want my company knowing that I was like doing UGC on the side, right? Which looking back now, I'm like, dude, everyone's doing something on the side. So it's kind of it's kind of a joke.
It's crazy. It's funny because I think just this last week, like 4 or 5 people reached out like with screenshots of Ray, like that they saw advertisements of him. And they're like, what? I almost spit my coffee out. And we're like,
and listen, these are people.
Some of them,
his name was Cowboy Brett, and he was my construction manager at Ben & Jerry's 22 years ago.
No way.
And out of the blue, I get a Texas number and it says, are you selling steppers? Are you selling insoles? Is everything good? And I had to say, man, everything couldn't be better. And let me tell you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, the conversation always ends with, do you have any? Can you send me some? I'm like, I'm not a warehouse, but I do have some.
They don't sell me 30 pairs, to give out to my friends and family.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I must have reconnected with at least a dozen people over the past 3 months from anywhere from a year ago to 30 years ago in the corporate world who I haven't talked to in some decades. and they're wondering if everything's okay. And I'm like, yeah, man, things couldn't be better.
Yeah.
And I tell them what I do. And of course, what the next thing is. They're like,
how do I do it?
So you're an influencer. Yeah. I'm like, oh boy, if you have another half hour, I'll tell you why I'm not. But you kind of are, but you kind of aren't. But it's been pretty cool. It's been really fun.
Dude, that's funny. Anytime I get a text and without opening it from like somebody I haven't talked to in over a year, I already know exactly what it is.
They saw you.
It's going to be a screenshot of an ad and they're saying, what is this, dude? Or like, I'm like, and I don't even, I'm like, it's like what I work now. It's too hard to explain the whole thing to every single person.
Yeah. And then you've got the family and friends who are like, I totally think I could do this. Tell me how I could do this.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So after you started on Fiverr, let's get back to that. So you started on Fiverr, and then what platforms did you get on first? Was it Incense? Like before you started posting, because I know that's been great for you, like creating social media handles and posting and getting inbounds. But what other platforms do you recommend getting started on?
So I think you alluded to the fact that my Fiverr, wasn't cooking, but we knew that was a possibility in the beginning. Ray's started taking off and he got some good jobs through Fiverr, but we knew that if we wanted to be successful, we had to spread ourselves out. So Incense has been phenomenal for both of us. Awesome. I think that's probably one of Ray's main sources of inbounds is through Incense as well. Coley has been really good. I've had a couple jobs on it. They have phenomenal brands on there. So we're constantly trying to get work through there. We're also on UG. Ray's done some backstage.
That's been fun.
Yeah, backstage has been awesome.
Has been really
we haven't even tapped into the possibilities of backstage yet. So we're going to focus on that because Ray's seen some good success there. And then, because like I mentioned, I'm still kind of working full time and helping Ray a lot with the admin side of things and the editing side of things. I would still consider myself a dabbler in UGC, and even as a dabbler, like I'm making more than I thought that I could, just as like a surprise. Oh my gosh, $500 just hit my bank for a job that I did a month ago. Like very cool. And then what else are we?
If I was going to rank them for me, Incense has been number one. Fiverr's right behind there. They have different attributes. I mean, the pay structure on Incense is great.
Yes.
They approve a job, you get the money.
Yeah.
The inbounds would probably be number 3 for me.
Yeah.
So what do you? So let's stop on that for a second. So we're talking about and Haley, I like how you said you don't have. I tell people this all the time. You guys don't have to have social media handles. When you have social media handles for UGC, and the reason, if you're listening to this, then I'm assuming you are interested in UGC, obviously, or else you just wasted 27 minutes. But like you don't have to go create Nate Flake UGC or whatever. No. Like you do that as a way for brands to find you, not to get followers. You're not trying to build this huge following and, like Ray said, be an influencer, right? You're trying to put yourself out there, because that's where brands are. Brands are searching. Literally, they have marketing people that go onto Instagram, they type in hashtag male UGC creator.
Yeah.
And then they just start scrolling until they see a face that matches the brief. That's as simple as it gets. And then they're going to go there. And as long as you're showing up and you're doing a lot of facing the camera shots, brands are going to reach out to you, right? And they're not going to DM you on Instagram. They're going to go to your email address that is in your hand, in your bio. So if you are listening to this and you don't have your email in your bio,
yes,
go put that in. Even if you don't have, even if it's not clickable, go put it in there. It doesn't matter if you have enough followers to have a link. Go put it in there, because that's how brands find you. They're not going to DM you. I promise you.
Correct.
So
Correct.
What kind of stuff, this is the next question I always get. What kind of stuff should I post? Like, what are you posting?
Goodness, I'm posting everything from a rant, like, hey, here I am in sunny St. George, and here's what's going on today, and here's what I did today, to some tips and tricks, just everything. But what I am doing and what I need to do more of is just get on there and just chit chat. Tell them about what's going on in my UGC life, or, what's going on in my personal life. Just a little of this and a little of that. Nothing specific.
Yeah.
You want to talk about influence? I'm trying to influence brands to come get me.
Yes.
Yes.
That's literally it. And
it.
I think Haley touched on it earlier. They're not hiring this. They're hiring this.
Yeah.
They're hiring how I can convey what their brand wants to say and how they want to say it. And if I can do that, it's been converting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're posting UGC examples too. We want them to see
huge.
us and how we can present a product, so that's been great. We need to get a lot better about it. I know that a lot of coaches and people that, talk about UGC on socials, talk about the personal branding side of things. So that's, we're trying to focus a little bit more on that, because we do want to attract people that, brands that resonate with the way that we live our lifestyle, because that's going to create the most authentic type of, user generated content for sure.
And one thing we always ask when we get an inbound, where did you see us? Where'd you see us?
Yeah, where'd you find us?
Where'd you find me?
We're
and we're starting to really catalog that and see where it is, because it's amazing what comes back from that. And they say, hey, we saw this, we saw that. And 9 times out of 10, it's something I did that was just a testimonial, non-scripted. That's what people seem to really love most, and that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Instagram they're saying most then, or what platform is coming up most? Instagram?
Instagram is coming
TikTok,
up. Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have dabbled with Reddit, X, and LinkedIn. We haven't dove too far into LinkedIn yet, but every time that we get on X or Reddit and apply for things, we seem to get an inbound through there as well. So it's really just, we need to be more committed to getting on the platforms. It's very much a self-advocacy type of job, UGC. You get out of it what you put in. So if you just sit back and you're waiting for something to happen, it's not going to happen. But if you put yourself out there and you put your portfolio or your name, or you just engage and you make yourself seen, something will hit. Something will hit.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, is like, there's so many platforms, and not even like UGC platforms, like social media platforms, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like really hard to keep up with all of them. Between like, I just recently started putting these episodes on YouTube. So I started a YouTube account like maybe a month ago, and I'm like not even at 100 subscribers yet. Like, it's hard to like build that, because like, oh, that's just one more thing. But what's interesting is every time that, like, I posted a UGC example that I did a TikTok live where I did the entire video, right, from start to finish.
Yes.
And then I posted that example yesterday, and then like every single time I post an example, I get like 2-3 inbounds like the next day.
Yes.
Like, it's like automatic.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, if I'm not on there, if I'm not posting on there for like, 4 or 5 days, then I won't hear anything. And it's almost like you have to, I don't know. I kind of compare it. I made this really stupid analogy to my wife, and it's just going to be like very not poetic, but it's almost like you go into this like dark room on the platform, right? And every platform is a different dark room. And then you like light a candle or you light a match, and like brands can see you while that match is lit. But then as soon as that match goes out, then they just move on to the next person who has a match lit. And every time you post, you light that match, right? And it only lasts for a certain amount of time, maybe a day, 1, 2, 3 days. And then when you walk out of that room, it's like, oh, this guy's gone, so I'm going to move on to the next person that has their match lit, right? So it's like you got to do that every single day because brands aren't going to find you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You tell Mama Flake that was an outstanding analogy, because I see that now, because I've been flicking my matches too intermittly.
Yeah,
I need to get in there with the blowtorch.
Yeah, literally.
You know, there is, you know, it's so much so quickly. There's so many different ways that you can go with UGC. There's just, you know, although it still feels like it's fairly in its infancy, especially for us, only being, you know, 3.5 months in or so, there's just so many different directions you can take it. And you really don't know which one's going to work for you until you just start taking all of them. And that can feel very overwhelming. And, you know, like both of us, we sit down sometimes where we're like, we know what we're supposed to be doing. Are we doing that? No, like let's recenter, refocus, let's get back after it, you know, and trying to find ways to integrate systems. And, you know, while trying to still communicate, Ray gets a lot of messages and I'm like, okay, you got to put the phone down for like 2 hours so we can film this. And then you can pick the phone back up and start communicating, because there's a lot of shiny object syndrome in this work for sure.
It's so hard to get, you get distracted, or like a company, like even this morning it happened where 2 companies needed slight tweaks on a video I did 2 days ago. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a freaking huge project today, but I guess I'm going to do this thing, right? But I think it's like learning how to prioritize, communicating with the brand and saying, hey, sounds good. Yep, this revision, it's going to be about 2 days before I can get back to it, because I'm in the middle of deadlines that are right now. And then most brands are going to be cool with that. They're not going to expect revisions back within 1 day, which is like most of them are 2-3 days. And then also knowing that, like you alluded to this earlier, Ray, about like when you first start out, between $50 and $100 is great. That's a great project, right? That's a great price. But now it's like, okay, I have to raise my prices, because physically I cannot do this many videos. So like I need to weed out the low paying people, you know, charge a little bit higher, and that way I can physically get to all of these jobs too. It's a great problem to have, right? And then when you're not as busy, at least you're charging $400 or $500 a video, because then it's not a huge crazy thing if you're not making, you know what I'm saying? Because it helps pay the bills that way too.
No, you totally hit the nail on the head. That's kind of where we are now, is, you know, Ray's established what he feels should be his base pricing, and that's what he enters a negotiation with. And we've also really tried to look at our calendar and made a conscious effort to communicate with the brands, like our first available delivery date isn't until, and then we put it 2 weeks out, and we're trying to intentionally book a certain amount of work, you know, both to monetize what we need to monetize, but also not to overwhelm us and make us feel like we're working 24/7, you know, into those time slots. And so that's the rhythm that we're trying to get into right now. And it seems to be working a little bit for us.
How have brands responded to that? Like to like, hey, we're 2 weeks out. Like, are they usually like, oh, cool, they got a little bit of FOMO? Is it like a positive?
Almost too well. Sometimes Ray's like, I'm doing it to try to not get this job because I don't want it. And they're like, no, we'll pay you what you want. No, we'll wait till the first quarter. And we're like, oh.
And then I become the guy who like has never had a girlfriend. I'm like, okay, I'll go. Let's do this now, you know. But you know, the whole thing in the beginning with Fiverr not working, and then you pivot, right? And then I went to Incense, and then I went to Influ, and then all that works. And then when the jobs started coming in, you know, I don't want to say you get a little brave, but you get some stones and you start to say, hey, can't do it.
Yep.
And I can't do it for $75. I can't do it for $150. And I forget I want to say it was Anna Socials, or I forget who said it. She made the point that they're going to offer you the very least they can to start out the negotiation.
Yes.
And if you realize that, and more importantly, if you realize what your self-worth is, you know how good you are on camera. You know how the videos and the content you can produce. Set yourself a minimum price range, and don't go below that. You know, have that confidence in yourself. And you know, with having that work backing me up, you know, having some work in the hopper, I was able to do that. And lo and behold, you know, you say, hey, you know, I think my line was, thank you. So I always thank them. I always thank them for reaching out, because you never know if you're going to have to cross that bridge again, right?
Yeah.
Always thank them for reaching out. I truly appreciate it. But it appears at this time, with the scope of work and on your project, our rate expectations do not align. And I'll tell you, 90% of the time they come back with a better offer. And like Haley was saying, some of the times I just I don't want to do it for that product or that brand. But then they come back with the old Godfather, right? An offer you can't refuse.
Yeah.
and that's where you are.
And you got to do it. Yeah, that's funny. It's interesting how quickly that happens too. And I told you guys when you started, I'm like, hey, you're going to get to the point where you're too busy, but no one believes it until it happens. You're like, what do you mean? No, I'm too busy. I can't find a job to save my life this first week, you know?
Yeah.
But then you get experience, and then everything just starts snowballing. Your portfolio gets better, and all of a sudden you have the clout to back it up. I want to go into a couple of your guys' experiences that I think are really cool, and I definitely want to bring them up. The first being the World Series and a UGC project. Oh heck yeah! Here comes the Dodgers hat. Here comes the Dodgers hat. So like again, you're 3 months into this, and
that's unreal.
And like wild story. How did that come up? Like tell the story about how it came about. How a company paid you to do a UGC video at the World Series game and paid for your ticket. You know.
So I'll let Haley describe how we got it, and I'll take it from there.
Yeah, so that was an inbound. You know, Ray had just been, at that time, I think that we were only like 2 months in at that time. That happened in the beginning of October. So maybe just a month in. And Ray, a month in, and Ray had, done a couple of posts on TikTok and Instagram, just kind of saying, hey, I'm Ray, this is what I'm doing. I'm new to UGC. Like super excited to follow all of you and hope you follow me along too. And so he got an inbound from, I think we can mention it, right? They've posted the video and everything, Nutrafol. So the hair loss company, and it was just
hair regrowth
product. There we go. and they mentioned a video package, and they had just signed with MLB as one of their official sponsors. And so they were doing this whole hats off campaign. Their women's product for 40 plus has been very popular. So they're trying to focus a little bit more on like the 50 plus, and came across Ray and thought he'd be a great fit. So we signed that contract and got into kind of the work with them. And Ray, when he had his onboarding call, mentioned his love for baseball. He had done some research on them. And at that time, it was coming into the playoffs, right?
Yeah, well, I'll back up even more. So did you find it on Reddit or X?
No, I think they were an inbound from your posts on TikTok.
So I had never heard of them before. And, you get that email, and then you see the price they're offering. And, of course, I thought it was spam right away. Yeah. And, I'm like, honey, this company, Nutrafol, and she goes, Nutrafol? I said, yeah, and here's what they're offering. She's like, you
reach out
get
now.
Your asshole there. You return that email right away. And it was legit. They got back to me within minutes.
Yeah.
And said, thank you for getting back to us. We love what we saw. And that was that. And I knew, and then I kind of, I'm a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
And so I had seen that name around, and they were in the bullpen. And I said, hey, are you that company? And they said, we're actually the official sponsor of MLB. I'm like,
that's wild. Yeah.
You want to talk about a 55-year-old man turning into a 10-year-old right away?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this was happening. So I listened to I don't even think I heard a word they said. This is what we need you to do, and blah, 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 blah.
I'll do it for
and
free.
Said,
yeah.
I'm telling you right now. And I said, by any chance, are you the same sponsor of Major League Baseball? They said, yeah, we're exclusive, and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, we get it. We signed the contract, blah, blah, blah. And I tell Haley, I'm going to call him back. I'm going to call the guy back because we had a great exchange. And I called him back. And this was right when the playoffs were starting. I said, hey, his name's Ram. I said, hey, Ram, by any chance, do you have tickets to the game tonight?
You just straight up asked him?
Well, a little bit of conversation first.
Dude, wow.
But I can remember I had some friends over that day, and I said, I'm going to give this guy a call back. The game was the next day. They were starting the playoffs, and he says, yeah, we have 6 tickets to that game. Would you like them? Game.
Yeah.
I said, yes. And moving forward from that, the Dodgers advanced to the World Series. And
hold on. So let's back up. So you go to that game.
No.
Oh, you don't go to that game.
We wind up not having, a babysitter. We have a dog. Blah, blah. We would have had to road trip it there and then come back at 4 a.m. that night. So we didn't. but the Dodgers make it to the World Series.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going to give him a call back.
And at this point, you've already done like a video or two for them or no? You hadn't done a single video at this point. This was
We're
your
just
first?
under contract.
That is wild.
We have the brief. We have our marching orders, but we're still weeks out from when they want it. They're not complete on the brief yet and going back and forth. Nothing's set in stone yet, so I haven't even started work for them yet. But I asked him about the World Series, and he goes, let me get back to you. Long story short, he goes, if we got you 2 tickets, would you be able to shoot some content? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I didn't care what they said or how I had to get there. That's a dream of mine.
Yeah, duh.
Absolute dream. And I've been a Dodger fan for over 50 years. So we say yes. He shows me where the tickets are at. I'm like, insane. We're like 20 rows up from the field. And he's like, kind of have fun with it. These are kind of the talking points we need, but get after it.
Yeah, shoot a lot of B-roll. They gave us a script, so shot a ton of B-roll, did the intro, had the script. So that night, the game we ended, 11. We get home, we get back to the hotel. Ray goes to the car the next morning and shoots reads the script, the voiceover script in the car before we load up the kid and the dog to go back home because we did a turnaround, and then he started the drive, and with the voiceover I did the editing and we got it to them next day and they started running it.
Oh my gosh,
it was awesome.
That's so
it was awesome. It was amazing.
With that, I had 3 videos I had to do. They're like, we'll count this as one of them, definitely.
Yeah.
And the guy, again, Miss Ram is his name. Ram said, I love this so much, and I got to be honest, because you made me look so good. We turned it around in less than 48 hours.
Yeah.
And
24,
very happy with us. And I think you alluded to it just a little while ago. They were so happy with the work that he says, number one, we have some products coming out for men 50 plus. We'd like you to be a part of that in the future. And we have other just strictly male products. We'd like you to be a part of the family. So, talk about creating long-term relationships.
Yeah.
This is going to be one.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
By the way, it was the worst game of the entire World Series. One of the best experiences I've ever had at Dodger Stadium. Got to meet and sit next to 2 of my favorite comedians.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't thank them enough, and the experience. I mean, if anyone wants to see it, they posted it on Nutrafol Men.
Yeah.
Check it out.
You guys have it on your socials too, don't you?
We
Absolutely.
haven't posted it on our
Oh,
socials.
you haven't. They told you couldn't or something
Haven't we?
like that.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's on our portfolio.
No,
Sorry
we
about
just,
that.
it's in our portfolio. We haven't posted it on our socials, so we're letting them run
Go
it.
check
We
it, yeah.
haven't.
Go check it out,
We haven't.
Nutrafol Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nutrafol Men.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's so
So
cool.
just, she always jokes. She's like, bummer you just peaked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It ain't getting
you
any
peaked
better
in,
than this.
you peaked in UGC. It's not going to get better than this. So
I know. Well,
that was the ultimate.
And a couple of things from that is like, A, you don't get what you don't ask for, right? I say that all the
Correct.
time. And then B, like the fact that you got that because you posted on Instagram some rant about, hey, I'm new here, would love to connect with people. Like, yeah, it was probably awkward to do. You're like, this feels weird, but I'm going to do it anyways. And you never know, you never know where that stuff's going to take you.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask about, because I know, again, we're going all over kind of the place with different platforms and inbounds and all that stuff. But one of the cool experiences you guys had, which is like something I like really want to get into as well, is backstage, right? And you guys did an in-person shoot recently. Like you're full on actor at this point. So, so tell me this, like you guys just went, so you live in St. George. If you guys don't know where St. George is, it's like Southern Utah, Moab, Zion, all the red desert you see in every dentist office in America. The same painting.
He's not joking.
So true.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys went to Vegas for an in-person shoot from a UGC deal you got from Backstage. Is that right?
Yes.
So once again, you get that notification, so it's Pavlovian, right? You're like, ding. You're like, okay, Backstage, you have a message from. And it was to, play a doctor, which I've done half dozen times now. So I said, I'm like, Haley, they want me to act.
Like
play
in
a doctor.
person. Yeah.
In person. And again, she said, you get your ass on that computer and you return their message. And, the pay was right, everything was right, and we're an hour and a half north of Vegas, so not a big deal. We're road trippers anyway. We like to be on the road. And the producer was a great communicator. We went back and forth, had a great brief on the phone. he said, bring this clothing. And of course, anyone in UGC, if you don't have a lab coat, get one.
Get one.
You're going to need one for something.
You're going to be a doctor or a nurse at some point.
Yeah, doctor, nurse, talking about supplements, right, Nate?
Yep.
Whatever it may be. And so we went and did it, and it was so cool. And it's actually for, an invention that a doctor has for specific care that he's trying to do. And I played him. So when his product comes out, I'll be the guy on the advertisement playing a doctor. And he was there to kind of say, this is what a doctor would say, and this is how he would say it. And I'm like,
the full script.
Perfect.
So did you have a teleprompter?
No. So I got there.
There were no words.
And then they said, you know what? We just need you to mouth like you're talking and use hand gestures like Haley's getting really sick of, by the way. Because I keep hitting this chord. So they just said, just act like you're talking to a patient. And I was in a separate room, and they projected me on an 8-foot screen in a separate room to where the nurse and all the other practitioners would be. So I was in a room all by myself, and they would say, just start riffing. Talk about what? And I would talk about sports, talk about baseball, football, making hand gestures, and they would coach a little bit. They would say, okay, you're giving a patient a diagnosis. Okay, you're listening to a patient.
They're going to die.
So,
how are you going to tell them that?
yeah.
Start
So
CPR.
I'm moving my mouth and moving my hands. I'm in the lab coat, and I've got a stethoscope around my neck, and just cool. And while I was there, same thing. I figured, why not talk to this guy? I was the last one in the room, and just sat around chopping it up over some lunch. And they said, would you be willing to come back? We definitely have some other projects we're working on. I'm like, yeah,
done,
it's
dude.
Vegas.
Done.
It's close to us.
Yeah.
We'd love to help.
Super fun.
If I could give any advice, if you get a job and you enjoyed the job, or at least you enjoyed the people you worked with, stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
Because they have a job too, and their job is to look for people like you.
Yeah, it's easier for them to rehire the same people, right? And sometimes you're just like doing them a favor by saying, hey, I'm willing to do another one, because I've had brands like, hey, would you be okay like doing one more? And I'm like, dude, yeah, this is music to my ears. You kidding me? Yes. Like, duh, I want more work.
We just did that last weekend with Bordery. So we were on the call, doing the brief with Bordery for the Christmas charcuterie board that we were getting. And he's like, by any chance, because we said, we were getting it on Friday. You have to film it within 24 hours because it's fresh. It's amazing.
Stuff, right?
And so he's like, we have family coming over both nights, Friday and Saturday. We just have groups of family coming over for dinner, and, we're bribing them just with games and dinner. So we can film it either night. He's like, do you guys maybe want us to send you a second board? And on the call, he sent us a second board to do a New Year's one the next day.
Oh,
so
sweet.
we picked up a second job, and then we were talking about with me on the call. Yeah, because I was talking about how, we edit our own stuff too. He's like, you guys edit? Can you edit for an additional fee? And so we picked up, editing for an additional fee, which I enjoy doing. I think we're going to whitelist with them. So yeah, just being open to talk about it and being available definitely can open more doors, because they're looking for creators that they can count on.
Like you said, Nate, I mean, it makes their job easier if they have a roster of capable content creators, and that's just it. And we're doing that. If we work with a brand that's communicative and that we really enjoyed working with, I should say, and the money's great, but sometimes it's not the best, but working with someone who communicates really, really well, all day, every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. So we'll just say, got any more work? And especially if you're going to talk face-to-face on Zoom call, or just picking up the phone, right?
Absolutely.
A lost art. Picking up the phone and saying, hey,
That's
anything
the
in the
best.
hopper?
Yeah.
And that's been really successful for us also.
So much easier to close like on a conversation
gosh.
than it is via email too. And even just like
Yeah.
a Zoom call, that like once they see you and they get to know you for 5 minutes, it's like, it's way, way better.
Yeah. And just asking if you have questions about the brief. I mean, just having a direct line to someone is everything in this business. If I could tell brands, anything that they could work on to help a creator on the creator side, it's just giving someone direct access to you to be able to ask those questions and work through those projects, because you're going to end up getting better product from your creators on the back end.
Yeah. Instead of having to email and then wait 24 hours for a response, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Or with
longer.
email, sometimes you're like, hey, it's a week, it's 2 weeks, it's crazy, and then you're like, did I follow up with them? Did I not? But having that's a great point. Having direct access to the creator or the producers of the project, it's invaluable.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Well, I super appreciate you guys. I want to kind of wrap it up with one last thought. And I want to ask you a question is like, what is your, like, I see you guys enjoying this and like working together. And it's, I don't know. You guys already know me. I'm a big believer of like YOLO, you know, you get like one chance at this life. Like, why not do the thing you want to do with it and spend your time doing it the way you want to do it? So I love that you guys are like spending this time together and like working together and learning this new skill and thriving. Like, what's your biggest piece of advice if you're, for our listeners that are out there thinking about like, okay, I'm a creator and maybe I should get my husband involved or maybe I should get my wife involved. What's your best piece of advice for those people?
Do it. I mean, it's, you know, if they're open to it, if they're open to the experience and the opportunity to be able to share that time with each other and do it with each other, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be, you know, all rainbows and sunshine. It's going to be hard work. This is for sure hard work, but the payoff on the back end to be in control of your time, your day, your income, to be able, you know, for us, we're each other's best friends. So to be able to spend time with my best friend and to be able to look at the bigger picture of the future of this. And, you know, once we really start to get to where we want to be able to pivot this to traveling with each other when the kids are out of the house, you know, or being able to do this from anywhere that's just everything. That's everything. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people dream of being able to do. And because we took a chance and because we did it together, we're going to be able to do that. And that's pretty cool.
Love it.
Yeah. If you have a creative bone in your body, I could tell you this, and you know this, Nate, if you wanted to, you could go get that corporate job again, and you could circle back and hope the email finds you well, and, you know, have people degrade your presentations and all. You could go do that. That's very easy. I don't even think about that now. That's the alternative, is going back into the corporate world, and it scared the stuff out of me so much. I don't ever want to go back there. Number one, this allows me that creative outlet every single day.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's like a fingerprint, right? Every single day, it is just a little bit different. And you know, like Haley said, I get to hang out with my best friend. And I want to reiterate, it is not all, you know, puppy dogs and ice cream. It's not. We have creative differences.
Yeah.
But that's good. I don't want her to think like me, and she doesn't want me to think like her. But it works. And if you have a partner that you can get into this with, and you're both willing, I'm telling you, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And you know, like she said, we want to travel later in life. We want to do stuff like that. We could do this till the day I die. And for me, my talent pool just gets smaller and smaller. If I'm doing this till I'm 70 years old, I might be the only dude doing it, which is great.
Nate will be there.
Nate and I will have just a box full of supplements we've never used, and you know, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Well, the cool thing is too, is you, like, we haven't even talked about this. We won't even get into this, but like, you get to charge more for having two people in the video too. That's people don't get. Like, yeah, you can both be in someone can edit and someone can shoot, but like, I can't tell you how many shots I've had, how many videos I've gotten because I have a spouse that's willing to be in the video, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, and I just want to say one more thing is, anytime I get a job and I know she could do it also, I let them know. So with Nutrafol, they're probably going to be calling her soon because I said, hey, just so you know, I have a wife who's a creator and blah, 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 and here's her portfolio. And they're like, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they see her work and what she could do. So anytime I can, I put her name out there too, and more times than not, she gets a job too.
Yeah.
And we do it back and forth, and that works.
Yeah, keep the work in house, baby. Keep it in house.
Yeah. The mortgage isn't going to pay itself, right?
Yeah, you got to charge those referral fees to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I super appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, so fun.
Super stoked to meet you guys in March 14th.
Oh my gosh.
UGC Creator
Can't
Connect. You guys, UGCCreatorConnectEvent.com. Go check it out. It's going to be a really, really fun day. We're going to be able to meet a lot of the people in the community. It's going to be awesome.
Park City.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's one of our favorite places.
Even if you don't get to the Connect, you're in Park City.
Yeah,
I mean, go. You got to go.
Yeah.
But go to the Connect too.
Best snow on earth,
really,
baby.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate, because
Thank you
I got to
so
tell you,
much.
you're the one who really made this all possible. You're the one that continues to kind of be the shepherd for us and show us the way. So we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
No,
and I
you guys
swear
are
you don't
awesome.
sleep or have a clone or something, because I don't know how you wear the amount of hats that you wear.
You're
Oh,
too
I
many
appreciate
places at one time, man. We're suspect.
I'll
You're
sleep. I'll
awesome.
sleep when I'm dead, I think. So
Yeah.
super appreciate you guys. You guys, I'm going to tag both of your socials in the
Great.
Awesome.
show notes so then people can see like what they're talking about. This kind of stuff you post, give them a follow. And then if you come
Yeah,
to Creator
absolutely.
Connect, you'll be able to meet Haley and Ray in person. But
Yes.
Yeah,
Can't
we'd love to.
wait.
awesome. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. And we will chat with you guys soon. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, share this with your friends. Take it easy.
You too.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Nate. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, that's it. If you got something out of this, hit subscribe, catch another episode, or share it with a creator friend who needs to hear it. And grab my free 10 steps to becoming a UGC creator guide. The link is below. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next week. Keep creating.